How you doing, everybody? I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. So, I'm out here just because I wanted a little bit of different scenery. I already scared away like 3 or 4 deer as I was walking back here, so who knows? Maybe something will pop up behind me. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about a few things that I really like about being in the vinyl community. I saw a couple negative things about it recently, so I just wanted to talk about positive things, why I really like the vinyl community. Okay, first off, it's the vinyl itself, right? I'm gonna be swatting some bugs while I'm here. I'm sorry. I love when people show their vinyl. They show the records that they've just recently got, or maybe ones that they've had for quite a while. Um, a lot of times it's records that you see and you're like, oh man, I didn't know that was out on vinyl. I want to pick that up. Or ones that you have forgotten about. And you're like, yeah, I've been buying CDs for so long or whatever. Now I want to get that on vinyl because see, that's the way I am. I was out of vinyl for a long, long time. Thought it was done with, and then, like some point last year, or early last year, uh, I got back into it. I got out my old records, got myself a turntable, found some old speakers in the basement, everything, hooked it up, got it going, and realized how much I really missed vinyl and how much I love it. So I love seeing everybody's records. And it's just like anything else. Sometimes they're going to show records where I'm thinking, yeah, I will never be able to get that record, but it doesn't matter. It's just cool to see it. So showing the vinyl, I mean, there's nothing wrong with showing CDs and whatever. That's cool. I do that sometimes, but let's face it. Would you rather see somebody showing some CDs or would you rather see them showing some vinyl? Next up is the knowledge that I get from it. Like I said, got back into vinyl. So being out of touch for a while now, when I get to kind of learn some things that we never really thought of before, like vinyl pressings, all the different versions of a particular album, which one sounds the best, which one's hard to get, all those kind of different things. There's German pressings, there's the Japanese pressings, there's just pressings from all different years, um, all kinds of different things like that that I've never really thought of. And you have channels like the Vinyl Archivist, Melinda Murphy, the Flip Side, the vinyl community with JC. They know all that stuff and they share that knowledge. So it's kind of cool getting that knowledge. The other thing about it, knowledge, is, um, you know, you might be in your area and, around where you are, people say, oh man, you know, they tell me, Gary, man, you know everything about music. And if there's a music trivia question or something like that, they all think they can ask me that. And you start thinking, yeah, man, I know an awful lot about music. And then you get on here and you realize, oh, wait a minute, there's other people that know this much about music or that know more about it, right? Um, what's great is not only do you have um, the aspect of other people knowing music that maybe people around you don't. It's like, I'm like, what? There's other people that love Jeff Beck or UFO, things like that. You get to talk to those people, but plus you get to learn. You hear about bands that maybe you missed along the way, old bands sometimes that you just never got into, and all of a sudden you hear people that you like and respect and they start talking about it and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go back and kind of rediscover this older band because there's so much music that you missed and now it's out there and you can go get it. Or new music that you haven't thought of, newer bands that you never would have known of if it wasn't for that. The next part is the community itself. The word community is in vinyl community, and that's what it is. and I feel like it's very welcoming. Uh, I have found that on here, what's really cool is there's people of various ages, nationalities. You have like somebody who's, some kid, well, what I would call kid, somebody who's like 19 or something, and then there's somebody who's 70. And they might be talking about the same album and having a conversation, and they never would have before. You know, the other aspect is people all over. You could be talking to somebody from out in Idaho. You can be talking to somebody in Sweden. So that's what's great. I love it when you're talking to people in other countries. You're talking to people from around your country, Canada, wherever, all over the place. That is so cool. And I also think that the community part, when I say it's welcoming, I also feel that it's, for the most part, unlike a lot of the internet, it seems like it's a safe place. So I don't see like a lot of, because there's men and women, like I said, all various ages all over the place, and there doesn't seem to be much of a creepiness factor. You know what I mean? I don't see people getting creepy like with the different women that might be in the vinyl community. It all seems to be a healthy respect. And also, there's different levels, right? There's some people that, they might only have a handful of records. They might have a shitty record player or whatever. It doesn't matter. People will come together. They'll talk to each other. They they share their knowledge. It's very welcoming. And I think that's great. I think that's one of the best aspects of the vinyl community. That and the different personalities that are in the vinyl community. There's so many different types of people on here, the way that they have their channels, or it doesn't even have to be people with channels, just the people making the comments and everything. They're different personalities, the way they see things or hear things. Okay, like let me think of like a handful of channels. Rachel the Music Man, JC Rock and Metal Reviews, Red Room Records, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed, The Foul Quints. Those are all channels that I watch, and they're all different, totally different people. They're all great. I love all those channels. They all bring something different to the table, and that's awesome. And then the last part of this that I love is the friendships that you make. I have made all kinds of friends on here. I've made some really close friends on here. I never would have suspected that. Um, Last summer when I started out doing this, I never thought that I would become really good friends with some of these people. But I have so many friends on here, and I am not going to start naming people because I don't want to forget somebody. I don't want to leave anybody out because I have a lot of good friends on here. A lot of people I talk to. I got some friends that I got a tight group. Most of you know, I know all them, but I've got some people that are coming right in there. It's expanding. Got a lot of close friends. I've met a couple of them in person. I'm going to be doing that again. So it's just great. It's great to have these friends. I got people that I text, that I email. It's just really cool, and that's probably the one of the best aspects of it. So anyway, these are just some things I wanted to talk about, positive things about the vinyl community. What's some of the things you think are positive? What do you like about it? Anyway, remember, I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until the next time, my friends, I'll see you down the road or the trail.